Good morning, and what a beauty day it is. Today, I'm going to start on the Cross Canada Firebird hood. There's the Firebird over there, past Rock Sled. So, I want to paint this. It's got very, very few imperfections. There's that one little thing here. And we had a windstorm here. And some stuff blew over, and I have a little tiny dimple dent you can see in the sunlight over there. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to weld up these holes. Also, sand it down and paint it. So this is sort of my souvenir as I go across Canada. I want to have something special at the end of the trip that I'm going to hang on my wall. So I'm going to start prepping this right now. I got to grind the corners. I want to reinforce the back edges here. And I'm going to weld up those holes with the chrome. That's a tough one, but I think I will. Yeah, I got to think on that, and pretty quick. Clean up the blemish, fix that dent on the far side. So that's what I'm up to. It's going to be a beauty day. Oh yeah, look at that. North on the prairies. Okay, as I soon discover, not a big deal. You'll see here, it's been painted a few times. Let's see what we got here. We have some black down there, and we have some red paint, and we have red lacquer primer, and we have more red paint. That's two paint jobs. Then we have some high solid urethane and a coat of blue. Then we have more high solid urethane and at least one more coat of blue. Maybe two. So 1, 2, 3. It's been painted 4 times. So, let me see. This thing is 55, 56, 57, 58, about 58 years old. That's not too surprising. One paint job every 15 years roughly on this hood. So I'm going to fix that. Again, if I'm doing a client vehicle, I'm going to strip this to the metal first thing and make sure there isn't going to be any checking. Get rid of old lacquer paint. But this is a wall hanger in a few months. So I'm just going to paint it. Now comes the time, what do I do with these? I want to put the 326 emblem on here. No, I don't. I'm going to weld these up. That's what I'm going to do. And of course, there's little indentations where over the years people have forced chrome onto it. Okay, in the interest of not warping, I'm filling up some pretty big holes. I'll show you when I'm welding it. I'm going to put a big lump of brass or copper or something behind this and just weld up the hole. Acts like a heat sink, which draws the heat away from the sheet metal. And at the same time, you can fill up a big hole without just having to keep building up on one edge or working your way around. Okay. Alright. That beautiful hood. Okay, I'm gonna my welder out here and get after it. Okay. I'm gonna take this big lump of copper. I'm gonna hold it underneath the holes. And I can just weld across them. Hopefully it'll absorb a bunch of the heat. I'm still got to be careful. It would appear I don't have a great ground. Put this over here. I feel so much more grounded now. I might get some water to cool them as I go. Cool. Over to this corner. Try not to quench until the red goes out of the weld. I know I mentioned also yesterday doing shrinks. Don't let the white cone touch the sheet metal when you're heating up sheet metal for shrinking or otherwise. They say it puts more carbon into the steel. And even 2 or 3% carbon is considered high carbon steel. Makes it much harder to work with. Okay, let's see. And there's 3 holes on both sides. Hey, looking good. Okay, this has got soap in it for sanding. When I wiped it off, I didn't get the film off, so it didn't weld very good at all. So I'm gonna have to get some straight water, rinse this, but that's just not working as it should. Oh, and on a bonus note, I finally pulled my stitches out. She's looking pretty good. Kind of awesome. Yeah. Hopefully, I've got all the soap film off. I'm gonna have to grind that a little bit. I got too much buildup there before I weld anymore. And I lent my grinding goggles out, so I gotta set my helmet on grind. Even when we're grinding, we spread the heat out a bit. Okay, that's more like it. I'll try that again. Whoop. Got to set the helmet back to weld. Nice helmet. And I'll do one over here. Okay. Just cool off around it. Nice. You know, welding on the hood can be a little bit frightening just because of warpage. But again, we're on a bit of a shape here where it makes it less prone to taking off when it gets warm. So that definitely makes my job easier. This has enough weld, I won't need the copper. Alright. And also, like I said, I want to build up the corners sometime over the last 60 years. Got set on the back end and it's good, but it's not right where it should be. Might even get a hammer to tap that. Just so I'm just trying to repoint the corner. Maybe not necessary, but that's what I'm doing. They're always prone to cracking there. Just from being bumped when they're off the car, things like that. So we're going to take care of that. Hit the other corner. Need a little grind now and it'll be the right shape. You don't have to use this big chunk of copper in behind. I'll do one without it. You just have to be a lot more careful. So what you're doing is you're putting a little tack on the edge of the hole, and then you're striking your neck dart right on top of that little buildup and working your way across the hole. A little bit slower. Depending on your welder settings, you can melt right in. A few people, focus group, have asked what are my welder settings. Basically, I'm on lowest heat. This is a Miller 212. I've got a 210 as well. Quite versatile for heavy or light. Little 110 is excellent machine as well, but I got it on my lowest setting. And then you start with your wire feed. Let's say low, 0, and you try to weld on a piece of scrap, and you keep turning the wire speed up until it sounds right and it welds right, and you'll know it. You just got to try it.
I've had a couple guys, one guy in particular around Ottawa, phone me up and asked for advice, went and bought his first welder, playing with it, teaching himself to weld. You can do it. Okay, we got a little bit on this one here. So I wanted to get the welding done on this first thing this morning. I've got to run into town. I'm going to be looking at maybe trying out some new grinding discs. Okay, so I'm going to grind this down now. I may put some filler on it before I head to town. But this is the start. And I mean, this was a beautiful hood, but there's always something to do. They're never perfect. They're never scuff and shoot. This was damn close. The wind hadn't blown it over. I only had the one blemish up front. So we're good now. I'm going to put the welder over here. I'm going to do a little bit of grinding on that. I may have to get a new disc. I may run into Pat's and get some more. But got to set this on grind. See what I come up with. Right now I got to use my light. I may have messed up. I've got a tiny warp here. I got lucky. All right. Okay. Welded. Both corners built up. Holes welded up. The one dent dealt with, I think. So, as I say, this is the type of job you strip it to the metal and you find out what else has been done to it before you, so you don't have to worry about warranty a year or 2 or 3 down the road. This is my hood. It's going to hang on the wall. Let me see. July, August, 2.5 months. It's going to be hanging on my wall. So therefore, please forgive me for what I'm about to do. And I'm going to put some filler on this. And blend it into the paint. I can't believe I'm saying that. That's not what you do. But this is a wall hanger. If I was doing a wall hanger for someone else, yeah, I'd probably still strip it to the metal because I have to worry about warranty. But when I'm doing it for me, while I'm working on my own stuff, I'm not making a living. Now, if you're working on your own car at home, which is always an excellent thing to do, you're doing it after work on your own free time. So it's all right to take your time. Oh boy, that just doesn't make any sense at all. Anyhow, I'm gonna mud this. Okay, ready already. 40 grit while it's wet. And I'm trying to avoid scratching around it too much. It just means more prepping. So if I can get it down with the 40 grit, without scratching around it, then 80 grit, and it'll make blending it in way quicker and less primer. I may finish this in like 320 just so I don't have to use a high solids primer, which will cost me time. And I have clients to look after, so I can't be messing around with my own stuff constantly. That's why the shoemaker's wife goes barefoot. You can see how easy filler flakes off of the shiny paint. It's sort of an exaggerated demonstration of how important putting a good tooth in the metal is when you're going to spread filler and cleaning it. With a little practice, you can shape the little curves by hand. But again, this is just roughing in the filler. I won't get too carried away. Actually, you need to go with a shorter piece to avoid scratching the paint on both sides of the filler. By using a short piece of paper, I'm still using the block to slide across the paint, but it's not leaving big scratches around the repair area. So it's cutting where I want it to cut, and I still have it as a guide. Hard work. Oh, on a side note, we are headed out to Fredericton, then Nova Scotia, and actually hoping got a hold of the folks at Bad Chat, their shop. I've been watching, doing some pretty fancy stuff right now. I'm just new at trying to keep up with all these different people who are building, and I'm digging a lot of his stuff. And he's doing what he wants to do, and that's the ultimate, right? And you can build what you want, how you want, and have a good time doing it. I don't think it gets much better than that. So we're kind of excited. We're going to get to go out, see what they're up to. Maybe I can learn a few more things. It's always great working with any person in the trade because you pick up tips from virtually everybody. Apprentices, managers, etc. Okay, so this is all roughed in 40 grit. I'm going to switch over to 80. I can go a little more here. Okay, I'm going to get some 80 grit. 80 grit, here we go. I'm not so concerned about scratching around the body on this, around the repair areas. So I'm going to go 80 grit and then 120. Then I'm going to see how I'm doing. I may need, I may have some pinholes, something like that. So we'll see how it comes out. And I may be dreaming, I may have to put some high solids on it, but we're going to see. The panel will let you know. Yeah. Okay. We're kind of winning. When I'm filling up very small imperfections, the general thing is to go to a finishing glaze putty, a polyester putty. Easy to sand, and it's just meant for very tiny scratches, pinholes. Tends to get abused a bit. When I'm trying to fill up tiny pinholes or something, I've been using body filler. I've never had an issue with body filler sinking in a pinhole or any other place if treated properly, let it cure well. I have had a couple of times where a pinhole showed up again using a polyester putty of some type. Could have been the brand I was using. For some people it's an excellent product. For me, I haven't been highly successful. It's a little harder using filler instead of polyester when you're trying to fix up those incredibly tiny imperfections. But I don't care. I know, I use what I know. And I don't prefer putty over filler. So you won't see putty on anything. I do the filler, and when it's done, I prime. I may have over sanded in one area there. I'm liking this. It might have been. I didn't go far enough. I got a couple hammer marks out here when I was bumping it up. And so I backed off, and I should have kept hammering. My vehicle. I'm going to blow this off. And there's a couple spots that I'm going to apply just a little bit more filler. And we'll be back in a little bit. This is going pretty well. I mean, I've been on it for less than an hour. I wasn't aggressive enough with this bumping here. So now that I've been hammering where there's filler, I'm going to have to grind that filler out, and I'm going to hammer and dolly that because I just didn't do a good enough job on it. Okay, start over. Yeah, dolly underneath. So I'm trying to pick up right along here. A little overzealous. Now I can fix that this way. Okay, and I gotta fix that chip up there. And I wish I'd have done that the first time. Okay. I'm gonna have to blow that off, wipe it down, mix up the filler. Okay, I've been hitting it with 240 on the block now. I'm real happy with how straight it is. And also, I've gotten rid of most of my scratches. Any that are left are pretty shallow. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to orbital with 400. Not typically the way I go, but it works right now. Okay, here we go. When you start seeing these little, what we call them pigtails, curlicues, junk stuck on your paper, you gotta wipe that off. Yeah, you can see all that? Maybe you can't. But you see all those little curlicues? Yeah, that's plugged up paper digging into your paint. And that should show up in the finish. So I'm going to change paper. I could use synthetic steel wool. Scotch Brite is the brand name. But That'll clean your paper too. So I'm going to blow that off a bit, just in case there's junk on the paint. And that's another reason we wipe down the paint before we sand it with a wax and grease remover. Wow, I might have to wipe this thing down again. You can see right on the edge of the paper, you see all these little things? That's what's happening. This is a DA, it moves in 2 different directions, it spins, and it also goes elliptical. But that is something on there. So I'm trying to scrape that off so I don't do any more damage. Oh, there's the overhead door, guys. Not happening. Nope, I gotta stop and clean it off. Whatever it is everywhere. It could be wax. It's no good. Okay, that should make a big difference. Alright, more paper. So when was the first time you went through the Pine Pass?
In 1955.
And it was pavement?
No, it was gravel.
Okay.
I went down to southern BC to look for a job on a pipeline, and I drove all the way to the south end of Kootenai Lake.
Wow.
It
Nice.
must have been at Okanagan Falls or Penticton, somewhere where
Oh,
their
yeah.
headquarters were.
Wow.
I went down and a friend named Gordon Franks that you met.
Oh, yeah.
At Quesnel later.
Yeah, yeah.
All the way down there looking for work, and they didn't need anybody. So we turned around and drove home.
That's a couple days drive back then.
It certainly was. And coming home, the potholes in the Pine Pass broke a bottom control arm on my 53 Pontiac. And we blocked it up with a chunk of wood and drove carefully into Dawson Creek
No
to get
way.
it fixed. Yeah.
Right on.
That's a long time ago.
Well, I'm hoping for a better trip today.
That's good, yes.
It's paved now.
You got a nicer looking car too.
This is pretty cool.
Yep.
Yes. All right. Well, have a good couple days, Dad.
Yep.
There's the wheels. Whoop, better close the trunk. We're off. Taking a few days. Little $1,500 warm-up, a 1,500 kilometer road trip. Take a few days off. Head up to northern BC. This will be a great trip. Car's working great. This is the first real bit of driving. And it's kind of a fun vehicle. Top down the course. So once we get into the Pine Pass, set you back up and see some incredible scenery. It's going to be a great day. This is the Pine Pass. Beautiful country. It's about 3 hours between stops. I think there's a gas station after a couple hours. This is the mountains, Beju Falls in the middle of it. Traffic's a little heavy. I'm going to try to let them all go by so I can just enjoy the sights. The car is running flawlessly. Just idling along, about 90k. Not warm today, but that's all right. This would be a serious road on the motorcycle. Well, I hope I don't hit too many stoplights. It's coming into Prince George. Geez, raining. Hasn't been raining for too long. Hopefully it's just a short shower. And hopefully I get a lot of green lights. Yeah, I don't have to wash the car now. Awesome. Well, it got pretty freaking heavy. The sun's coming out. Going faster didn't really help. But I see blue sky ahead, so I think we're good. Yeah. I'd have to roll up the side window. What a beauty day. lucky with the lights. Kind of hit it where I'm at a red light and it slowed down a bit. But it has been pouring. So I'm just trying to sit here and look casual. Well, I'm getting dumped on at the stoplights. But you can't ruin this day. Little rain's awesome. Hit Prince George at rush hour, apparently. It is a great evening. Beautiful countryside. Look at the view. Just keep getting better and better. The road doesn't. Good day. I'm going to wipe down this hood and I'm going to seal it. This is the spare hood for the Firebird. So I'm just going to wipe it down again. And then I'm going to put sealer on it so I can get into throw some kind of a base paint on it. This gets rid of microscopic dust and any oils or contaminants that might have come off your hand. Cat hair. Just saying. All those cool things. I'd already wiped it down once, but I usually do it a couple times. So I'm going to paint probably a couple different colors on this. So I'm going to make one base coat on today. And then I'm going to put in some accelerant to make it dry a little bit quicker. So hopefully I can mask it up tomorrow. And then do the other color. One thing, whenever you gain on one end, Kate Brett told me years ago, you lose on the other. If you make it dry too quick, you might not get as much flow or shine. But you can work with it very quickly. So, you know, you gain on one end, you lose on the other. All right. Got the sealer in the gun. So, oh, I got to tack it. Always got to tack. super hot out there today, so getting a good flow out might be a little tough. Definitely setting up quick today. I prefer to do edges first. It's easy to miss them. And then I can melt in the overspray so it's still fresh. Ooh, yeah. That's looking good. I'll explain a couple techniques before I do the paint. So when you're pulling your trigger on your gun, the first half is straight air. And then paint. So at the end of every stroke, you don't let the trigger all the way off. You leave it halfway to maintain your pattern. So you're painting, then it's halfway off, you still have the pattern, so that when you pull the trigger the second half, it introduces the paint into an existing pattern. If you shut it all the way off, and then pull the trigger all the way on, at the start, there's no fan, so the paint will come out straight. So at the very start, it won't be in the right pattern. So it might be hard to notice, but at the end of each stroke, we shut our gun off halfway. And when people are learning how to paint, I hang up dark colored paper on the wall and fill up the gun with water and go at her. And it's not that tough. You pick up on it pretty quick. It's really awkward the first few minutes, but once you get into it, it's easy. And you're always maintaining the gun square. At the end, you don't turn it off. You go right to the end, bend your wrist. It's pretty simple, just takes a little bit of practice. Here we go.
Alright, I didn't get it done. It's more than one color going on this. I know red doesn't make a lot of sense, but tomorrow night we'll do the reveal on the hood installed in the car. So we just didn't quite get her done in time. Check back tomorrow night. You're gonna see it. I hope you dig it.
It's looking pretty good. I don't even see any dust. It's going on nice. Come back for a second coat.